Trying to make me be like you? Well, I'm not going to be like you.
When it comes to princesses of the animated variety, Disney pretty much invented the concept. Speaking of concept, these royal gals didn't originally appear as we see them on screen. Let's take a look at how these ladies were first imagined.
I like the open gates.
We are never closing them again.
Ariel. Did you know Ariel was not originally a gender? Disney animators went back and forth with blonde, strawberry blonde, and eventually settled on red. Disney animator and concept artist Glenn Keane was charged with Ariel's look. He credited actress Alyssa Milano for Ariel's characteristics and to capture her underwater flowing hair. He studied footage of astronaut Sally Ride when she was in space. He also likes to joke that his wife looks exactly like Ariel but without the fins. Ariel's been part of 3 different worlds: sea, land, and space.
What is it? Oh, I don't know, but I bet Scuttle will. What was that?
Rapunzel. The task of conceptualizing Rapunzel was passed down to Glenn Keane's daughter, Claire Keane. She described her process for understanding Rapunzel by keeping a journal of things she did all day at home, which she then used as inspiration for Rapunzel's world.
I'm not getting any younger down here. Coming, Mother.
As she states on her website, claireonacloud.com, it helped me see her as a real person who lived beyond the scenes and plot points of the movie. She looks a bit more serious, perhaps more burdened with her secluded world. Jasmine. Aladdin's first love wasn't Jasmine, but his own mother. Yes, Aladdin was a mama's boy, while Jasmine played a more minor role.
Here you go.
You'd better be able to pay for that.
Minor but tougher. After the mommy storyline was scrapped, she was moved into the spotlight, but lost some of her spunk. This pink girl image was also scrapped. That's a lot of pink. When all was said and done, Jasmine's whole look was basically inspired by the famous mausoleum of the Taj Mahal. Anna. At first glance, there doesn't seem to be much difference between Anna's before and after. However, if you look closely at the 2 faces, earlier drafts gave her sharper features with a pointy, turned-up nose. The real difference is the original storyline. Anna and Elsa did not start out as sisters, but as potential rivals.
What are you so afraid of? I said enough!
We'll get to Elsa's dramatic change shortly. It's pretty dramatic. Elsa. Elsa almost wasn't a princess, but a villain. In this version, there is no relation between Anna and Elsa. In fact, Anna asks evil Elsa to freeze her heart to get over an ex. Somewhere along the way, screenwriter Jennifer Lee started to really feel for Elsa's situation. In the story of Frozen, making a Disney animated classic, she reveals, you care about someone who's been forced to hide who they are. Elsa's not a villain, she just makes some bad choices because she's in a very difficult situation. Once that was decided, the production team began to focus on Elsa's fear of her power and her loneliness. Aurora.
The princess shall indeed grow in grace and beauty.
Sleeping Beauty took 6 to 9 years to complete. In that time, Aurora went from a raven-haired hottie to a whimsical, graceful, yet extremely drowsy princess we've come to love. Mark Davis, well known for his skills with the leading ladies, Aurora was the first princess with violet eyes, and her features were mainly inspired by Audrey Hepburn, which explains the black hair. Merida. The refinements given to Merida between original concept sketches and the final product weren't as dramatic as we've seen on this list. Animators at Pixar gave her specific features for a specific purpose. Brenda Chapman describes Merida with an athletic figure to match her energy and wild spirit.
This whole marriage is what you want. Do you ever bother to ask what I want? No!
She gave her wide-set eyes instead of huge round eyes, as well as a rounder face. I wanted to give her a design where you could look at her and say, girl, but there was an appeal to it. That's why fans took notice when Disney revealed their own version of the princess. Mulan. several animator supervisors were sent to Mulan. Mulan was an important film for animators, as this was no ordinary princess. The fathers who worked on the film wanted to give their daughters a hero who fought her own battles. They determined from the beginning she would need no prince to save her. First given the common feminine attributes as other princesses, they eventually curbed the curves to make her more believable, posing as a man joining the army. She was never a girly girl in the first place.
Con, let's go home.
Belle.
Papa, do you think I'm odd?
My daughter? Odd? Where would you get an idea like that?
The princess makes smart look good, but we may have never heard this girl belt out her tunes. Can you imagine Beauty and the Beast without music, with a much darker story? Neither can we, but that's how this movie almost became. In that version, Belle was given black hair, which would have likely fit in the darker version of the script. To lighten her up, they lightened her hair, softened her facial features, and dressed her in her iconic blue dress. Jane Porter. This princess makes smart look good.
Daddy! Daddy, quick! No, wait, hold still.
Jane Porter's first looks didn't reflect her carefree and curious personality. She came across as a little more proper, or shall we say, uppity. Her final look was softened with quirky expressions and mannerisms, more fitting for a curious scientist as well as Minnie Driver, who brought Miss Potter to life and served as the perfect model.
Oh, look, bananas!
Alice.
It must be awfully important, like a party or something. Mr. Rabbit!
Alice in Wonderland is a wild ride with the most unusual characters.
I suppose he must have... Why, what peculiar little figures.
However, animators had difficulty adapting Mary Blair's concept art, saying her style was too flat. They found it challenging. They were able to bring life to Alice. Her work eventually proved immensely valuable when drawing inspiration. Animators took notice of various attributes in Mary's concept art. These attributes included color selection, use of lighting, and costume design. Pocahontas. The real Pocahontas was only 11 or 12 years old when John Smith came to town. Naturally, Disney animators first considered portraying her at this age and pitched an image of Tiger Lily from Peter Pan.
Oh. How?
The young adult we saw on screens was due to the success of the epic romantic tale of Beauty and the Beast, and executives decided to ride that lovey-dovey wave by aging our courageous princess for John Smith to fall in love with.
When will I see you again?
Meet me tonight, right here.
Cinderella.
Can't tell. 'Cause if you tell a wish, it won't come true.
Mary Blair makes another appearance with her concept of Cinderella. She had been sent to South America in 1941 and was inspired by the imagery of her surroundings. Walt was so impressed by her style, he entrusted her with many films, including Cinderella.
Oh, I understand, but it's more than I ever hoped for.
Snow White.
Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?
Let's go back to the beginning where it all started, the OG princess, the one who proved to skeptics who said an hour-long animated feature couldn't be done.
Oh!
Hello.
Oh!
Did I frighten you?
Being that this had never been done before, they faced the challenge of making sure the characters didn't look artificial. In fact, that is why we don't see the prince much. They focused all their efforts on Miss Snow.
I'm awfully sorry. I didn't mean to frighten you. But you don't know what I've been through.
Disney brought in actors to perform the scenes to inspire the animators. The actress who portrayed Snow White was none other than Hedy Lamarr. Tinkerbell. If you thought the Tink was sassy on screen, just take a look at an earlier concept of the red-headed pixie. Since she doesn't speak, the animators gave her strong expressions to speak her mind. The pixie's look resembled popular pinup girls of the time. She's even been compared to Marilyn Monroe. Which Disney princess makeover was your favorite?
Let's get out of here. Oh, you're not getting cold fins now, are you?
Did any surprise you? What's your take on Elsa? Let us know in the comments section. And thanks for watching The Things.